This exercise asks us to graph g of x equals 1/5 times the quantity x plus 4 squared plus 3. And again, I've taken the portion of the book that tells us about these graphs because it's an awful lot to write. But the idea is we start with the vertex here, h comma k. So the vertex, in this case, is -4 comma 3. Why is it -4? Well, you can think of it as just changing the sign on the x value. We change the sign because this equation is actually x minus h. We can think of this as x minus a -4 quantity squared. But it's easiest just to think of it as you change the sign on the x value and you keep the y value the same. All right, so there's our vertex, -4, 3. Let's go ahead and plot that. -4, 3. There we go. All right, now let's figure out if it opens up or down. Well, 1/5 is positive, so this opens up. Additionally, since the absolute value of 1/5 in this case is just 1/5, but that's less than 1, that's going to be wide. All right, so this is a wide. So it opens up and it's going to be wide. All right, the next bit here is we pick any point 2 places off in the x value off of our vertex. So let's take our vertex, we're going to go 2, let's go 2 to the right. That's going to give us the easier value to work with. That gives us, so 1, 2, that gives us -2 for x. Okay, so if we can get a y value associated with that, we'll have our second point, and that's all we need. So then y is g of -2. Okay, so we're plugging -2 in this equation. So 1/5 times -2 plus 4 squared plus 3. That gives us 4/5 plus 3. And you could work with fractions, but honestly, in this case, it's easier to just go over to decimal form. This gives us 3.8. So our second point is -2 comma 3.8. Okay, so -2 and the x 3.8, which is about up to 4. So we're at -2, 3.8, so right here, kind of below 4. And remember, because of our axis of symmetry, which you also want to include in these graphs, so I'll include it as a dotted line here. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is x equals -4. That's the equation of the vertical line. And what you get is another point for free. Anytime you get a point on one side, you get a second point on the other side. So we're also going to get -6, 3.8. Okay, so we have -6 comma 3.8. And we got that because we found that we had -2 comma 3.8. Right? This axis of symmetry works like a mirror. So anytime you get a point on one side, you automatically get it on the other side. And that's enough to go ahead and complete our graph. It's very wide, as we expected it would be. Like that, and it goes on and on. A wide parabola.